Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Qala rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Today inshallah we'll finish Surah Shura, ayah 30 to 53. And again, as we mentioned, that this surah is so important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a blueprint about the Iqamat ad-Din in Makkah, where the Muslims are prosecuted, Muslims are tortured, and Muslims are basically have nothing to say except, keep uh, sort of making every effort to sort of um, continue taking the torture from these kuffars, because the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not order them to retaliate. So Hazrat Khabbab Razillah Ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Bilal Razillah Ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Ammar bin Nasir Razillah Ta'ala anhu, all these people, they just being tortured and nothing could be said until Rasulullah allowed some of them to do hijrah. So in this aspect, the blueprint was already prepared in Makkah, that when the Muslims will come on a focus point, they are mentally prepared and they have a plan in their hand that how they're going to execute now to establish the deen on the land. So we'll start with ayah 30. وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَيَعْفُو عَن كَثِيرٍ. Whatever punishment or whatever suffering comes to you, it is because of your own bad deeds. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mercy is so huge that Allah just keep forgiving most of the sins anyway. وَمَا أَنْتُم بِمُعْجِزِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَمَا لَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ مِن وَلِيٍّ وَنَصِيرٍ. And you cannot cause any failure to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this land, whatever planning you can do. And there is no other friend of you other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there is no one who can truly help you other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is your wali and Allah is your nasir. وَمِنْ آيَةِ الْجَوَارِ فِي الْبَحْرِ كَالْأَعْلَامِ. And Allah show you a sign in the ocean or in water that ships are sailing because of the wind. إِن يَشَاء يُسْكِنَ الرِّيحَ فَيَظَلَّلْنَ رَوَاكِدَ عَلَى ظَهْرِهِ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةٍ لِكُلِّ صَبَّارٍ شَكُورٍ. That if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused this wind to stop, these big ships will stand, because they were running at the time with all these with the wind energy. And there is no doubt that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with people who do steadfast and who thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and remain grateful. أَوْ يُوبِقْهُنَّ بِمَا كَسَبُوا وَيَعْفُو عَن كَثِيرٍ. And if Allah wanted to destroy those boats, Allah can do it because of your bad deeds, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still keep forgiving you. This is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ يُجَادِلُونَ فِي آيَاتِنَا مَا لَهُم مِّن مَّحِيصٍ. And whosoever wants to do something evil in the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make people fight on it, quarrel on it, or disagree on it, have doubt on it because of their work or because of their preaching, meaning this is in terms of this day and age when media is preaching, or people who get all these high degrees and they create doubt in the common people about certain things in the religion. Allah says on the day of judgment they have no way to hide, and they cannot run anywhere. Now from the ayah number 36 onward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now giving us a manifesto for a personal life. People who become a group, that those people who have these qualities, who will execute Allah's plan of establishing the rule of Allah on the land. So they have to have these qualities. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّن شَيْءٍ فَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. The most important thing is that they should aware and know in their heart with conviction that they are for akhirah. Muslim are not for dunya. Dunya is not in their heart for any way possible shape. Dunya is only mata. Mata means just like you want to dig a hole in the ground, so you need a spade, and that spade is your mata. Same way, if you want to, if you're a doctor and you're using your stethoscope or something, that is your mata, that is dunya. So the dunya is only for to build your akhirah. You do not live for this dunya. You don't just be lost in this dunya. This is very important first quality, that they should know and they have conviction that they are here for akhirah. Their reward is in akhirah. وَمَا إِنَّ اللَّهِ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. And they knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has beautiful reward for them in hereafter, and all they do, all the hard work, the homework, the work to be done, they put the trust in Allah, not on their work, not on their abilities, not on their planning, but on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالَّذِينَ يَجْتَنِبُونَ كِبَائِرَ الْإِثْمِ وَالْفَوَاحِشَ. So number one is they should be aware that they are created for akhirah. Number two is they should be aware Allah will reward them. Number three is put tawakkul on Allah. Number four is they should refrain from all kind of sins, major sins, because sin is something that if one does, his iman becomes weak, and a shaitan can overcome that weak iman. So very important that you should refrain from all major sins. وَإِذَا مَا غَضِبُوا هُمْ يَغْفِرُونَ. And also they have to realize that in the collective life, if they disagree and something they have hard feeling, those hard feelings should not remain in the heart and they just go away as soon as the clearing of the discussion is done. Here it doesn't mean that when they plan something to do something, they have to be very strict and hard to execute that plan. They should be having full of enthusiasm and courage and to fight against, but among themselves, if they have any misunderstanding among Muslims who are executing the plan, they just forgive each other. That's very important. And they should not keep any grudge in their heart. وَالَّذِينَ اسْتَجَابُوا لِرَبِّهِمْ وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ. And they said labbaik to Allah's call. أَقِيمُوا الدِّينَ وَلَا تَتَفَرَّقُوا فِيهِ. The most important quote is أَقِيمُوا الدِّينَ وَلَا تَتَفَرَّقُوا فِيهِ. Work to establish the deen and do not cause any division among themselves. And the most important way that your division will resolve is aqimus salah. Salah is something that you should come together. You should know we are standing in front of Allah collectively. Our hearts are clean, just like Sahaba. وَأَمْرُهُمْ Shura bainahum. And then decide everything with the consultation. There should be no one man show in collective life. Even our beloved Prophet, who has been in contact with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah being ordered to do Shura with the Sahaba, and sometimes Rasulullah says your suggestions will be followed, not my opinion. So Rasulullah kept his opinion under the Shura of all the Sahaba. As we know, in Badr, it was decided that there was the camp was certain place, and Sahaba came to Rasulullah and asked that, is this the order of Allah that the camp should be here? Rasulullah says no. So they said the better place is to put the camp on that place, and Rasulullah agreed and changed the camp over there. So this is the way of in collective life, no one man show. Everybody will give the opinion, and then once they decide on something, then they put their trust in Allah. Again, whenever you do something, you need some financial help, and everybody will pitch in to make sure that finances will not gonna be a problem, because we are all at one place to be good in akhirah. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَهُمُ الْبَغْيُ هُمْ يَنْتَصِرُونَ. This is totally different, that if someone have some zulm, then Allah says you should retaliate and take revenge. So in Iqamat ad-Din, if somebody is trying to push you around, you don't get pushed around. You says no, we have to establish this, and we will do it with force. وَجَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ سَيِّئَةٍ مِثْلُهَا. And Allah says, whosoever do something bad, you have full right to retaliate in the same way. فَمَنْ أَفَى وَأَصْلَحَ فَأَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الظَّالِمِينَ. But if there is a slight chance that someone will become better, then you can have forgiveness. So this is like a guiding light, that when Rasulullah accept the fidya in the Battle of Badr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not very happy with that, because those people who went back, they come right back. So in this aspect, that when the struggle for establishing of Allah's rule going on the land, we have to make sure we do everything to weaken the enemy. And the most important aspect is weaken the enemy is to make sure that you punish them as they need to be punished. Even if you need to kill them, qital is the highest level of Islam in this respect, because you are doing for Allah's sake, you're not doing that for any worldly gain. This is the first requirement that we already discussed. وَلَمَنْ انْتَصَرَ بَعْدَ ظُلْمِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَا عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ. And whosoever take a revenge and retaliate in the same way, who had been, transgressed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there is no sin on them. إِنَّمَا السَّبِيلُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ يَظْلِمُونَ النَّاسَ وَيَبْغُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Sin is on those people who create evil on the land and who fight in the land and who make people stop coming to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the people who will have significant punishment on the day of judgment. وَلَمَنْ صَبَرَ وَغَفَرَ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ لَمِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. And again, people when they are fighting as a group among each other, they have to be very patient and they have to be forgiving. And these two aspects are so important in collective life that they will keep your morale high. That will keep your morale high. وَمَنْ يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ وَلِيٍّ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ وَتَرَى الظَّالِمِينَ لَمَّا رَأَوُا الْعَذَابَ يَقُولُونَ هَلْ إِلَى مِنْ مَرَدٍ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ. And Allah says that whosoever is not willing to come to the guidance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remain them on the misguided path. Because guidance is the most beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's, that Allah can give it to someone. And Allah says, you want guidance, then you have to come, you have to listen, you have to obey, you have to sacrifice. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you reward. These are all the requirements for the guidance to be given from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be remain on guided path. And whosoever Allah misguide, there is no friend of him. وَتَرَى الظَّالِمِينَ لَمَّا رَأَوُا الْعَذَابَ يَقُولُونَ هَلْ إِلَى مِنْ مَرَدٍ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ. And when they will see that they are facing the punishment right in front of their faces, they will always have one question: can we go back to the world and have another life? And that's not going to happen. وَتَرَاهُمْ يُورِدُونَ عَلَيْهِ خَاشِينَ مِنَ الذُّلِّ يَنْظُرُونَ مِنْ طَرْفٍ خَفِيٍّ وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِنَّ الْخَاسِرِينَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَهْلِيهِمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَلَا إِنَّ الظَّالِمِينَ فِي عَذَابٍ مُقِيمٍ. And Allah says that is a picturization of the day of judgment, that when the fire will be right in front of them, they will be just completely ashamed and they will be seeing each other from the corner of eyes, and they are the one who not only on the misguided path, their whole families and their whole clan and their whole group will end up in Jahannam, Azab Muqim, that punishment which will never gonna end, ever and ever it will be there. And Allah gave this example, and it will come also later on, that like Firaun will keep on walking and bring the whole following of the Firaun in Jahannam, in the middle of Jahannam. Same way there are people who are misguided, they cause misguidance for so many people, and all will end in continuous punishment. وَمَا كَانَ لَهُم مِّنْ أَوْلِيَاءٍ يَنْصُرُونَهُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ وَمَن يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِن سَبِيلٍ. And there is no one, this is the fourth time Allah has used this word here, that there is no friend of you other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no one who can help you in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whosoever Allah misguide because of their own evil in their heart, no one can bring them on guidance. And this is also a consolation to our beloved messenger, that whosoever bring Iman is fine, but these people, if they don't bring Iman, don't make yourself any hard on yourself. Istajibu li rabbikum min qabli an yatiya yawmun la maradda lahu min Allahi ma lakum min malajin wa ma lakum min nakir. And this is again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a warning that you have to call, say labbaik on the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right away, that you need to accept Islam and start establishing Islam in your life and around you before the day come in when there is nothing can be changed on that day. That day cannot be moved, the day of judgment. And there is no way you can hide any place. Nobody can give you any kind of protection, and nobody can come and intercede on your behalf. فَإِنْ أَعْرَضُوا فَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَفِيظًا. So this is again a consolation to our beloved Prophet, that my beloved messenger, if these people turn you away, or if they are not willing to help you, then don't bother. Allah is enough for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not send you as a guard on them. And in alayka illal balag, your assignment is just to present the true message. Wa inna iza zaqna al-insana minna rahmatan farihu biha. And Allah is saying this thing about humanity, that when Allah gave them something good, they become arrogant, proud and all haughty and start showing off. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ فَإِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ كَفُورٌ. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send them any test, punishment or anything because of their own bad deeds, then the humans will become unthankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the two extremes, that when Allah gave you any kind of blessing, you should not be arrogant, share that blessing with everyone. If Allah tests you with something, then do not lose hope on Allah's mercy. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting here. Next ayah is Lillahi mulkus samawati wal ard. Here this is little different. We have read Lillahi mafis samawati wal ard, but here mulkus samawati wal ard, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the ownership and the kingship of all the heavens and the earth. Yakhluqu ma yasha. Allah can create anything Allah wants. Now in this, the best creation and the best gift that Allah can give to anyone is offspring, his children. That's where Allah says Yahbu liman yashau inasum wa yahbu liman yashau zakura. And this is so beautiful that the Arab tradition actually will not happy seeing a birth of a daughter. So Allah has bring daughters first, showing that how lucky a person is if Allah gave that person a daughter. Because daughters are the one, there is a hadith that Rasulullah says that if someone raise two daughters and give them good education of religion and make them good pious and marry them on time, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enter them in Jannah. And Sahaba says that if someone would have stand up and says one daughter, Rasulullah would have said yes. But it started in this way, that 4, 3 and 2. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the king, the owner of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he wants to give someone as best is daughters, then وَيَحْبُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ ذُكُورًا, and Allah also can give someone the sons, because this is the ata of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also this is a negation of any shirk, that no one can give you daughter and son, no one except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah is king, Allah is owner, Allah has all the authority. أَوْ يُزَوِّجُهُمْ ذُكْرَانٌ وَإِنَاثًا, and some of them Allah bless both daughters and son. وَيَجْعَلُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ عَقِيمًا, and some of them Allah remain without any children. Why? إِنَّهُ عَلِيمٌ قَدِيرٌ, because Allah's ilm is so perfect and so complete that Allah knows what is best for that person. So same way that Allah gave you restricted in your rizq because of His ilm, same way Allah can restrict the offspring or children, and Allah doesn't give you any offspring or children, because Allah is all the qudra, Allah has all the authority. So this is also settled, that the king can give you something in this way, and birth of the daughter is not something which is bad, which will be coming in Surah Zukhruf, next surah, that when the birth happens for a daughter, how they felt. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually highlight the birth of a daughter first. The second most important thing is about the common people, is that they were keep raising this concern about that Qur'an, Nauzubillah, being invented or written by Rasulullah. So Allah has already cleared before, which we discussed in detail, that Rasulullah has no authority even to bring Qur'an down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is Allah's authority and Allah's command that the Qur'an comes. Now the next surah, Allah is also highlighting that how this Qur'an has been transferred from the heavens to the beloved heart of Muhammadur Rasulullah. And Allah is giving these so no confusion should remain. Allah says, وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَن يُكَلِّمُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا وَحْيًا أَوْ مِن وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ. Allah says that the humanity is such a level that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can talk to everyone, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decision is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot, no human can have the ability to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so high and so majestic, and Allah has so much of tajalliyat that humans cannot sustain that, human cannot do that. So what Allah says, after saying this statement which is so complete, Allah says, how then Allah sent? Illa wahyin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can put something in the heart of human beings. This is Allah's power. And we know that Allah has put وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ, when the mother of Musa alayhi salam put Musa alayhi salam in the river, Allah says Allah has make strong her heart. Same Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did wahi to the honeybee, that honeybee is going everywhere and making the honey. That's also wahi. So this is something that Allah can do to all His creation, because Allah know all His creation. Number two, min warai hijab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can talk to someone behind a veil. So it is only voice, which again Musa alayhi salam has the honor of talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala behind a veil. Or yursila rasulan fayuhi bi'izni ma yasha. Or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can send a messenger like a angel to human being, like our beloved messenger. This is the way the Qur'an came down. Fayuhi bi'izni ma yasha, and that can only come down with the permission and order and specification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Angel cannot also come down on its own. One time our beloved messenger asked Jibreel alayhi salam, and Jibreel alayhi salam replied that, my beloved messenger, I cannot come down without the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah also cleared this part, that the Qur'an is actually revealed to Rasulullah, and Qur'an is come down from heaven. Complete clear, absolute clarity. Innahu aliyun hakim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most high, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all the hikmah. So this is clear. Now the issue about that, what is the guidance? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now clearing that also, because these people think the guidance is what they are on. So Allah says, وَكَذَلِكَ وَحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the hukum, the orders, the sharia, the qanoon, the laws, the system, the whole book through messenger Jibreel. وَكَذَلِكَ وَحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا, by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ma kunta tadri mal kitabu walal imanu. Prior to this coming of this angel, Rasulullah was not aware of any book. Neither Rasulullah knew what actually the iman is. This is something that Rasulullah has everything in his heart. But to become aware, meaning the Rasulullah is Nabi at the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not, even Rasulullah says that the Adam and the spirit of Adam was separate at that time. I was messenger at that time. But the messenger already knew Rasulullah is messenger, but when it manifests that yes, this is what the job is, this is what Allah has chosen me. That is a specific time. And that's why when Rasulullah received the first wahi, that's how he come running down from the cave of Hira to his beloved wife and says, Zambuluni, Zambuluni, that I'm just shivering. And then Hazrat Khadija not only supported our beloved messenger, but says, there is nothing wrong with you because you are such a pious man. So Allah says that prior this manifestation, you didn't know what is the true book and what is iman. That means it was not open. Rasulullah has everything in his heart, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened to him. And also this is to completely aware that this happens by the izn and by the order of Allah for the people who are still not believing on our beloved messenger. وَلَكِنْ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُورًا نَهْدِي بِهِ مَنْ نَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا. And this nur, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down this book. Through this book, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give hidayah to whosoever He want. So the kitab and iman, that means the book and the messenger Mahmood which is coming, is the two sources. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the messenger. Rasulullah lived 40 years among these people, and Rasulullah being called Sadiq and Amin. At the age after 40, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says manifestation of the iman in kitab happens, and then Rasulullah being ordered to openly invite people towards Allah. So what will happen? وَإِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And it is that you, my beloved messenger, you are the one who are on the guided path, because this purity is all the way from the heavens, from the preserved tablet to the heart of our beloved messenger, is absolute purity of 100% in the security and control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This book has come down, and that's why Qur'an is our guidance and Sirat-e-Mustaqim is Muhammad Rasulullah Uswa is our guidance. Siratillahi allazi lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard ala ilallahi tusirul umur. And these Sirat-e-Mustaqim is actually the way of Rasulullah, and whatever is in the heavens and the earth belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you should aware that all the fightings among you, all the arguments among you, all the questions that you raised, any kind of concerns that you are spreading, any kind of false beliefs you are spreading, everything will go and return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for final decision. So do not say something which you don't know. So here Shura is end, and we will stop here inshallah. Wa akhiru dawana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.